Hey guys, Brian back with you, certified trainer and Z Health movement specialist, master practitioner candidate for Z Health for anybody that cares. We're going to get into part 2 today of Recover Your Arch. And again, this gets to the root cause potentially of actually strengthening the muscles in the arch, the bottom of the foot. We're going to work on next in part 3, keeping the nerves healthy that help control those muscles. So we're working into some of the root potential causes that can help you really create more of a long-term solution without putting a blocky insole or a big blocky shoe underneath the foot, taking away valuable information that the brain needs to know what's going on in that bottom of the foot, especially in lower legs. So without further jibber jabber, we're going to start with 2 exercises today. The first one you'll need shoes on. I'm going to keep my laces loose so that I can kick them off and go into the second exercise where I'm going to go shoes off. So the first one, we're working on some isometrics in a calf raise position. Not just any calf raise position though. This really loads the lower leg and actually the patellar tendon, so great for building strength in the knees too. And it comes from Coach Dietz at the University of Minnesota. So shout out to Coach Dietz. We're going to go ahead and bend the knees, load up on ball of foot. Our knees are forward over the toes. So I intentionally want to get knees over toes. That loads my patellar tendon. It's going to increase tensegrity and improve the tissue quality and strength in that tendon, as well as I'm loading the Achilles tendon down here. So in this one, I want to work on dorsiflexion, meaning I'm letting my heels sit down as far as I'm comfortable with in that ankle. I'm driving my knees forward. We can go 20-second, 30-second holds here, so accumulating some time and holding on to something. I'm leaning into the wall a little bit here, so if you have a countertop or stable object close, we're going to stay in that position. That's progression number 1. And then pretty soon after, if that was too easy, we were probably going to want to jump right into the second progression, which is single leg. And if you're not ready for that yet, if it causes pain, discomfort, you just feel like your ankles aren't prepped or strong enough, please keep in mind that you should be able to support your own body weight in this position on one leg. So make it a goal to build up to over time. If you need to start on 2 legs, go for it. Try to work up to 30 seconds and eventually even 60 seconds in that deep bend position. If you're good on a double leg, we're going to go ahead, drive the knees forward, let the heels sit down, and then pick one foot up. So now we're in single leg. Should be able to stay here for at least 20 seconds, and then we would switch sides. Okay, so this is position number 1. We're going to actually go through 3 positions for this exercise. So I'd switch out after 20, heel driving down, knee is forward, intentionally pushing over that toe, and I want to be supported so that I can really focus on the isometric load in that weight-bearing leg, or stance leg. Awesome, 20 seconds. Now we're going to start shifting up a little bit higher with the heel. So the second position, we're still going to intentionally drive the knees forward, but we're going to start to get into more of a little bit of load on the calf as we go into a little bit of a calf raise, bringing the heels up, not all the way, about halfway. Drive the knees forward. Same thing here. Get to 30 seconds, 60 seconds on 2 legs before you then progress to single leg. And in that single leg, 20-second hold, and then we would go to the other side. So amazing for building strength and integrity in that ankle joint and the knee joint. So 20 seconds again. Got a little bit more elevation in the heel now. I still want that knee over the toe if it's pain-free. Sometimes driving your big toe down hard into the plate or whatever you're standing on can really help decrease some of the stress on the knee and then ease out of that. That's position 2 for that exercise. We'll go ahead and take a walk here in a second, kind of get a feel for how the legs feel, the ankles, the knees, and the hips after this first exercise. The third version of this first exercise is getting up nice and high, almost like the ballet foot position where we're really pushing that big toe down hard, driving up onto the tippy toes as much as you can, then still want you to push the knees forward. So we're not just going to be here standing up, We're going to drive the knees over toes again. Remember, 2 legs first. Establish that position pain-free for 30, optimal, or really ideally 60 seconds. Then we'll start getting into 10 to 20 second hold single leg. So now I got my heel up nice and high, still driving my knee forward. I'm still driving down hard through that big toe. 20 seconds and we switch. So heel comes up nice and high, push the knee forward, and grab whatever you're standing on with that big toe, drive it down hard. You should feel the muscles on the bottom of your foot, your calf and ankle, really working through this series. So this is again about strengthening the tissues, the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, so that they can accept and absorb the force of gravity in your body weight, and then push off and help you move better and apply force back into, in this case, the ground if you're walking, jumping, running, any of those activities. So go ahead and take a little walk, 20 seconds or so, and just get a feel for, okay, after all that work on the lower leg, how do my feet feel? Hopefully they feel awesome, mine do. And the next exercise we're going to work on is a 90-degree step. So this helps just get a feel for, as you step 90 degrees to the side, this base foot or stance foot that's not moving is actually where I want you to focus. So what we're going to do is, as you rotate and step, pivot 90 degrees with this other foot, your stance leg, you should feel the arch kind of collapse or relax down in towards the floor after each 90-degree step. When you step back, what I want you to focus on is bringing the weight from the instep or the arch side of the foot back over to the pinky toe or lateral side of the foot. So as you step back, think about that arch actually being naturally created, and push the toes down into the mat or the floor a little bit. So 90 degrees, arch collapses, 90-degree pivot back to more of a neutral stance, and you're going to recreate that arch. So do 10 of these to one side, and as you come back to here, push the feet into the floor a little bit, get a feel for that movement, healthy movement in the arch of the foot. Again, should be pain-free as you go through that iteration. Same thing, we'd go to the other foot. So you have your pivot 90 degrees, step, and now as you step, arch flattens or presses in towards the floor, and then reestablishes as you come up, pushing weight into that lateral side of the foot, and then push the toes into the floor a little bit. So again, 10 steps, and pivoting just that 90-degree turn, and working on the stance foot, really feeling that change in position on the floor. And again, this is one where if you can do it pain-free, nice to kick the shoes off and maybe find a mat or variable surface where one foot is on one surface, the other foot is on a different surface. So we're giving your brain more information to really focus on that stance leg and what's happening in the bottom of the foot and the arch. So that's that exercise. Let's go ahead and walk again. So give yourself a 20-second walk around the room. You can go forward, backward, or all forward. And hopefully that helped. And we'll be back in part 3 again. We're taking on some of the key nerves that help drive sensory and motor activation that we need in the lower leg and the bottom of the foot. Thanks.